Welcome to Advisor Spotlight today, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And today we have a very special treat. We have Sterling here, who is a master educator, 15 years of experience in the education system. And his background is probably one of the most rich backgrounds. I feel like you've really done it all in the teaching space, which is incredible. And I'm excited to hear how you've transitioned into life insurance. And I know that you also bring that educator mindset into the insurance space as well. So, with that, Sterling, please let's jump right in. I'm eager to talk to you. Tell me a little bit more about yourself and how you got into insurance.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I'm honored to be here. I appreciate you guys taking the time. Yeah, so I mean, as you mentioned before, I am a lifelong educator at heart. Always wanted to help people grow. And so I kind of came into the life insurance industry just honestly based off of needing to make some more money. But I didn't want that to change my purpose and how I live my life and continue to help people. So I really kept my educator mindset during this transition into the life insurance industry. So one big thing for me is I like to understand things, and so I like for people to understand things. I also think one thing I'm good at is creating metaphors and taking really big concepts and making it very digestible or very easy to understand, right? Because at the end of the day, we all want that we want to know the information, but we also want it to
Yeah,
make sense to us. So I try
yeah,
to do
absolutely. And who doesn't like a good story, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. So that's really been my goal. I pretty much tell people like who I am. I just want to leave this world better than I found it. And so I really am on a mission just to educate people and to help people get life insurance because as I've heard before, it's the only product that you're guaranteed to use. So
Yeah, that is very true, right? I think the saying is that there's only two things in life that are guaranteed, taxes and death, right?
yes, sir.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
life insurance is definitely a insurance policy you will put to work. So,
Yeah.
I am curious, coming from the educator space, and it seems like more and more teachers and educators are coming out of the woodworks to come into the life insurance space. And what led you to choose insurance versus the thousands of other jobs that are also available?
Well, I actually had a good friend of mine who introduced me to it. And she's known me for a while. We went to college together, and she actually said, like, hey, like I think you would be great at doing this. And so I spoke with her, and next thing you know, I was licensed and on my way to protecting families. And so I thought about my own family, and as I'm getting older, and I was getting ready to get married. So you know how like that kind of triggers things in life, things happen that
Yeah,
trigger shifts in life. So it's kind of like, okay, well, this was cool when it was just me now, but now it's more than me. So I have to make sure things get done. And so I just had to make some decisions and moving into the life insurance industry was one of those decisions to help build something for myself and my family and leave a lasting legacy.
yeah. Well, I'm sure that studying for that first test was probably a breeze for you. So that's always good to see, right? Well,
Yeah, it's still a lot of
those first,
information, man.
yeah, it definitely is. With that transition into the life insurance space,
hmm
those first couple months can be a little bit rocky for a lot of people. I know it definitely was for me when I first started out in insurance.
hmm
It was a rough first couple weeks. And on top of the learning curve of trying to figure out how to talk to people, how to work these leads, when to call people, when to push past the no or accept the no for being real and authentic, right? It's also 100% commission 9 times out of 10,
Right.
which is very intimidating. So, what were those first couple months like for you?
Oh man, those first couple months for me, it was like drinking out of a fire hose, as they say. And so it was a lot of information thrown at me. But over time, I just, they say, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? So you get all the information and then you just each day and each moment you just take a little bit and you learn and you learn and you just learn over time. Um, Luckily, with me being a teacher, I'm used to having to receive a lot of information, understand it, and then disseminate it to other people. So it
Hmm.
wasn't too hard. It was just information that I had never really utilized before. And it was actually very eye-opening for me when I was studying for my test because it was like, oh, I've heard all these words before. Oh, I've had something like that before, but studying for it and getting licensed kind of put everything in place. Like, oh, that's how that works, and it kind of filled in the gaps for me. Um, it was like I said, the first few months it was good because like I do know a lot of people from teaching, from helping people out. So people were like, okay, I'm definitely going to support you. And then after that, it's you use that time in your warm market to build your skills, and to
Yeah.
learn and get better, and you learn how to develop as an agent. So it was definitely like drinking out of a fire hose, man. But it was awesome, man. I just took the challenge head on, man, because it wasn't really about me. It was about providing for my family, and you really gotta. I try to have a servant mindset, and
Hmm.
so when it's not when you're afraid or anxious or whatever, you're thinking about yourself and you're not thinking about who you're serving. So, one of Coach Finn, he's a great coach of ours. He says you can't. He said, what did he say? He said fear and service can't exist in the same space. So
Hmm.
when you're serving people, like that's what you do. And so that's really my mindset and what I try to do in all
Yeah.
areas of my life, right? So
Yeah. Coach Finn. I mean, there's a reason Coach Finn is coach, right?
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
he's phenomenal. With those first couple months and transitioning into the life insurance space, I feel like most people kind of have a moment or a conversation. There's this one person at the start of selling insurance and working with families and people that stands out the most. And usually those moments are like it is the guidepost where it's like, oh, this is my direction and I'm going to go this way.
Mhm.
Did you have any significant moments that looking back were kind of like that guidepost that you came across, right? Because when you first jump in, you're trying to get your license. Then once you get it, now it's okay. Here's how you talk to people. Here's scripts. Here's dials, and all this footwork just to start getting the momentum going, right?
Mhm.
And that significant moment for at least for me kind of felt like a guidepost of like, okay, like there's a direction I'm going to go. I don't know where exactly, but I'm going to start going this way. And for me, I talked with a gentleman who he honestly he shared some life advice with me,
Mhm.
and I sold him a policy, and we parted ways. And looking back, it was one of those conversations where it just makes you go, you know what, like I really like this. I like helping these families, helping these people. Do you have anyone that comes to your mind
Yeah, I
with
actually
that?
have two. So the first one was it was probably within my first month or two of being contracted. It was one of my first policies. It was actually an educator that I had worked with. She was a grandma and she was trying to get coverage for her grandson because he had been denied before. And so I sat down with her and she told me the situation, and we immediately found her a carrier that got him, day one coverage. And so just like literally sitting because this was actually an in-person appointment, sitting down with her in person, like, and like going through it with her, I could literally feel her being like, thank you so much. Like, we didn't know what we were going to do because we couldn't get him covered. And so
Mhm.
like that was one moment where I was like, this is why I wanted to do this, and I can keep doing this, right? That's really what it's about. And another one I would say actually just happened actually earlier this week. Um, it was with a client who had a policy on her father, and he passed away a few weeks ago. And so helping her through that process, and her calling me saying that, hey, the funeral home says that the insurance company's not going to pay out. And then me having to call her and say, no, that's not what it is. They just have to go through the process. So they have to wait to get their money from it, and helping her, guiding her through that situation. I saw her earlier this week. And she was like, first of all, she's like, I miss you because I used to work there. And then secondly, she was like, thank you so much. Everything's going to work out with my dad. And I really appreciate it. So, I would say
That's
those are like
incredible.
two top moments where it's just like I know I'm supposed to be in this field, and like I know I'm actually helping people and doing what needs to be done.
Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible experiences.
Mhm.
Remind me again, how many years have you been working insurance?
Only 1 year.
Only
Only,
1 year. Wow.
yes, sir. One
And
year.
that is a busy year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that is a very busy year.
Yes, sir.
So, so I'm gonna adjust a question a little bit that came to my mind then, because the first year of insurance, I mean, that's a make it or break it year, right?
Hmm.
Like you either get past that 1 year anniversary or you don't.
Most
And
agents don't make it 2 years.
yeah, it is a wild ride, that is for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
With your first year being wrapped up, have you have you discovered or created any strategies for yourself to kind of protect your mindset when it comes to handling objections and just handling all of the reject and all of the no's that come with the job?
Yes, I actually have, and Coach Finn has helped me with that a lot. And it's really about your mindset, and it's really about, hey, you're just here to help people. If you can't help people, then hey, that's cool. You just move on to the next person that you can help. And so definitely before I was working with Coach Finn, it was almost like an emotional roller coaster, right? Like it's like, oh man, you're doing all this, it's great, it's great. You get there, and then the person like charges back, right? Or like they can't
Yeah.
do something. Oh man, right? But like I said, one thing Coach Finn teaches us is just that like he teaches us different strategies and how to not really, it's an emotional sale, but it's not really emotional for you, if that makes sense. And
Hmm.
keep it consistent and not really him and my upline, Javon Spencer, they're really big about posture, right? This is the posture, like you're here to help people. This is how you help people. And there are people out there that want your help, and that's really what they drive home to us is like you're gonna have someone that doesn't want your help or is upset. And he was like, what you have to understand too is that a lot of times you're interrupting their life. It doesn't mean that they don't want it, and people have a million things going on. And so he's like, really, it's kind of like you have to like really step outside of yourself. It's not about you, it's about them, and it's about helping people. And at the end of the day, like that's our goal, that's our mission that always needs to be at the forefront of our mind. And so he actually gives us, challenges like how many no's did you get today, right? How many no's did you get today, right? And Javon's like, hey, let's go get hung up on today, right? So it's really about how you embrace it. It's all about how you embrace it, like, and so I've learned so much from them, and I'm grateful for them. And so as far as mindset is concerned, I would say in the beginning, like there were definitely those ups and downs and those a lot of questioning, like, hey, and figuring it out. But never once did I ever want to quit. And I think that's when I knew that like I just got to figure this thing out. It's not that I
Hmm.
don't do it anymore. I just need to figure it out.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so like I said, like that's kind of how I approach it now. And so I've always been a servant and have a servant mindset. And so that's kind of how I've grown and developed in that area.
Yeah, I love that. All fantastic advice, right? And it definitely is. I mean, skill has a big part of it, of course, right? And that's developed over time,
Yes, sir.
but it is always a numbers game, even for the best of the best out there. It's absolutely a numbers game, right?
Always,
And
always.
if you normally get one or two bites a day or per week and you don't get it, it's just a matter of time, right?
Yeah,
Because,
yeah.
and this is something that I've had people tell me, and I've continued telling other people as well. Because it's a numbers game, if you don't hit the numbers that you're supposed to, right? If, let's say, you normally sell one policy out of every 10 people you talk to, and you don't get that in a group of 10, the universe owes you one. And that's
Right,
exciting. And
right,
it's even more exciting when it's like, okay, the universe owes me four,
right, right,
right? It
right.
makes it very exciting. With I mean, the insurance space has so many opportunities. You're 1 year in, right? Doors are wide open. What are you most excited about when it comes to your future in the insurance space?
Man, I am so excited that I found Level Up, that I found Level Up Leads. Um, just symmetry, Javon, coach, all of that. I'm excited about all of it. I'm excited about everything that Level Up is rolling out between Freddie and Sam AI and all the different tools that help us do our job more effectively and help us protect more families. Because I think that was a lot. That's where a lot of roadblocks come in for agents, like because you have to do so many things and figure so many things out just to kind of get the appointment done from beginning to.
Hmm.
And I'm really excited about all the tools they're rolling out that make it a seamless process to get it done. So really you can just focus on helping your clients and protecting families. So that's really what I'm excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Sam is out there, is booking the appointments, right? And I'm, I am, truthfully, I am very jealous of all the agents that are using Advisor Verified and Freddie AI to get the underwriting process done so fast. I don't
Mhm.
even want to know how many times I've been sitting there trying to make conversation with someone over the phone as I'm frantically trying to message teammates,
Right.
message upline, and just
Toolkit,
figure
you
out
just
like,
want to figure it out,
yeah,
right?
like what policy is going to actually work for this person.
Right, right.
So Freddie makes it so easy. Answer a few short questions, right? Give Freddie the info he needs, and he comes right back with information in 10
Sir.
seconds. It's incredible.
Mhm.
Well, Sterling, I am so thankful for you joining me on the spotlight today. Thank you again. And if before we close it out, what are your goals for this year? Because I'm sure there's a lot of other agents sitting at that 1 year marker or maybe a 6 month marker that are seeing where you are and like, okay, Sterling can do it. I can definitely do it. What's your goals for this upcoming year?
I have two goals for this upcoming year: to develop myself as an agent, to be the best agent I can be for families. And number two is I want to be an agency owner. Those would be two of my goals would be to continue to develop into the best agent I can be. And secondly, to begin my own agency.
Well, very exciting goals. And who knows, maybe in 6 months or even a year from now, we may be sitting here again doing this again. And you're telling us how you're running $1 million agency now, have all these agents that you're helping and all these families you've been supporting. So it's incredible.
Yes, sir.
Incredible work, Sterling. Thank you again for joining us. And we will see you guys on the next episode.
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Hey there, thanks so much for watching this episode of Advisor Spotlight. Here at Advisor Verified, we love spotlighting agents all across America as they share their passion for why they love doing what they get to do, protecting you and your family. So be sure to go to advisorverified.com and search for an advisor in your state that you connect with and that you know is licensed, insured, verified.